Okay, so this is my very first YouTube video, so please be kind. But I wanted to share this travel journal that I made for a very dear friend of mine as a retirement gift. And she is going to England and she loves England, so there's a lot of English stuff in here. And this design was inspired from and very closely followed by Eva from Bohemian Crafting. I absolutely love her stuff, so I thought this was brilliant and I wanted to do the same thing. So this book, the structure of the book is made from, what do you want to call them? Atlas pages. There we go. Made from atlas pages. So the bulk, like the structure here, is atlas pages. So you can kind of see that map there. And then have a little English flag tying them down. I kind of had to jerry-rig this strap because I forgot to attach it when I attached the covers. But I will open up the center first so you can see the inside here. Let me move this. Here's the inside of the binding. You can see that these are all the map pages, the atlas pages, and then this is travel journal style elastics where she can insert multiple travel journal, traveler's notebook style inserts. So we'll go over those more closely in a little bit. And then I just have this little key dangling here that she can use as a bookmark, remove if it's in the way, whatever she prefers, and I just tucked it in there so it doesn't move around as much. And then this fabric and things like the key and a little bit of scrapbook paper and the button are the only things that are not thrifted, reused, recycled, or antique. So this fabric is somewhere in England. All right, so first thing I did was I took all of the atlas pages that had anything to do with London or Great Britain, and I used those as the base of the book. And then anything that didn't have to do with London or Great Britain, I covered with pages that did have to do with it. So then I also have some little pockets here, and I have a vintage postcard from Glastonbury, and so I'll be able to show you the pockets with this postcard. So here we have London, Southampton, Bristol, and all of that. And because the atlas pages are so large, they all form these little pockets. And then I inserted a few signatures in between some of the atlas pages. So here is one of the signatures, and all of the signatures have antique papers, a little bit of coffee dyed papers. She was a math teacher, so there's graph paper and ledger paper in here. There's some vintage recipe pages from a Kentish recipe book. So you have pictures from Kent, and then all of the recipes are very English. There is antique paper here from, well, this is vintage from 1946, and the other side of that page is here. And then there's an antique page here from 1881, I believe. And just some fun things to put in here. And then some antique ledger paper from 1899 that has a lot of nice blank space that she can use as journaling papers. Some book pages from a book that is very Scottish, and she's also going to Scotland, so I thought that would be a fun addition here. Some color. And then a vintage or an antique letter from 1901 that again has some writing spaces on the back. And that is signature number 1. Oh, in addition, signature number 1 also has this book page from a book from 1891 with pictures all over the world. So I took some of the pictures from London and England and Scotland And then they have blank back pages, so there's lots of nice writing space back there as well. And so then anything that had England I didn't cover. And again, these make little pockets. This side wasn't as pretty, and I think it was upside down, so I covered it. She does love Downton Abbey, so there's some little surprises in here, Great Britain, but she also really loves Brendan Coyles, so little surprises in here for her. This is a very personalized book for my friend, and kind of a style of Downton Abbey with some Victorian-ish. I know it's not, Downton Abbey's not really Victorian, but kind of along those lines. And then again, there is a pocket up here because of the size of the papers. This is another little tuck spot. And then here's another signature. I have a book page, which has some writing spaces in it, a vintage card. Also has writing space, some more antique ledger from 1899, another book with lots of book page with lots of writing space, an antique letter from 1886, and all of these antique pages are from England, Britain, London, and so on. And then another page from the 1891 photographs book of Edinburgh, Scotland, with lots of writing space on the back, and a book page that's just pretty. These pages of the Atlas page were not covered because they do have England and Great Britain. I have a vintage card here that put a little tag, says memorable, the definition, and inspire with the definition. So this is just a little add-on that I glued onto the map page with some journaling space and little tuck spots. And then this flips up. And you can, there's layered tuck spots here, pockets, layered pockets, and excuse me, a vintage postcard from Bridlington, just for fun. And she is also a big reader, and this is her favorite author, who she's also going to be visiting this summer in England. And this was her favorite book, the first book that she wrote from this, that she read from this author, that got her to love her so much. So I made a little signature that was just all about books. And so there's some journaling space here. And then I took some of the pages from the paperback to add little pockets as well, and a map from the book. And then there's lots of journaling pages. Again, she was a math teacher. I added these books here. So math teacher, so we have graph pages, some pages from the book that I thought she might like, the first chapter, more journaling spaces. I thought maybe she could use this as a sort of reading journal part stuck in the middle here. And then I have a vintage, well, I guess it's not, well, it's 1888 or 1988, so I guess it is vintage. Library card with a couple more of the pages tucked in there. I didn't want to cover this because I know she is friends with the author and a fan, so I wanted to keep that there. And then I created a little tuck spot here because I wanted to cover the barcode and all of that. And then there's another little tuck spot. Here's a hidden paper clip with some book things on it. And also, I didn't mention I took some, the scrapbook paper here is obviously not vintage or recycled, but I made some little bookmarks with this scrapbook paper. So I thought they were cute, and she can use them however she'd like. And then here we're at the center again. So I'm going to take this out and set it aside because we'll talk about these journal inserts a little bit later. I did add this sort of add-on pamphlet-y sort of situation here. This site circles out and has her name on it. So I thought that was a cute little addition. And then I have a little key tucked in here. And if you unswirl this, it opens up. And on the bottom, this was from a packaging from something. It folds out, has a little Velcro closure. I made her a little mini journal with travel themed stuff. And there's some layered pockets here as well. And then on the top part, have different paper things of where she's going, a little charm of a tree. She likes trees. And then some journaling space, another some scrap of paper with a journaling space, and this folds out just for funsies. And there's a little tuck spot, maybe for tickets or something. And then these are also layered pockets with these globe cutouts. And another vintage card with some journaling space in the middle. And all of that closes back up, gets secured, secured here, and then moving on to the rest. Again, she really likes reading, so I have a lot of reading things in here. This is another little tuck spot that's on the back of some antique paper from 1877 with writing space on the back. Here is another photograph from the 1891 book of the Bank of England. Again, lots of writing space on the back. An envelope. She did tell me dark green was her favorite color, so I have added some dark green elements as well. This is Amazon packaging paper that I ironed and trimmed. Here is a vintage notice of rent increase from Tamworth in Europe, in England. And then some more vintage and antique papers from London as well. And I thought these have nice blank spots on the back for extra journaling space, and I find them very interesting. And this is the back side of the envelope, so little tuck spots back here, and the back side of this letter from 1877. And again, this was a Atlas index page, so I covered that. It was upside down and not as cute, but makes a little pocket here. And again, with her love of reading, and again with her love of Brendan Coyle in the Downton Abbey style, I did make these kind of three-dimensional, and this opens up to show both England and a little surprise of another Brendan Coyle picture, which she will find hilarious, I'm sure. And some more Atlas pages that I did not cover. Again, these are pockets, and this is a pocket. These are covered, obviously covered, the Atlas pages here, pocket. I didn't cover this because it's about the population of England when these, of Europe really, when these, this Atlas was printed, which I don't remember the year. I'll have to look at that. I think it's in the 50s. And then this is the final signature, another book page that has some nice writing space, another picture from Scotland, Balmoral Castle, with journaling space on the back from 1891 book, some coffee dyed ledger paper, Amazon packaging paper, another Kentish recipe page, a letter from London from 1875. It's amazing how long these papers hold up. It's pretty cool. Some interesting antique paper from insurance companies, I guess. So this is 1908 and 1911, so they're actually vintage, not no, those are antique. Oh gosh, it is 2024 and I'm old, so yes, these are antique as well. Goodness. The other side of the Kentish recipe book with a picture of Leeds Castle. And I just did some stenciling on the Amazon paper so it didn't take up too much in, focal point. This is the back side of the other part of this book page, which has, she could write on that as well, or she can add pictures, whatever she like. More Atlas pages, again with a pocket. And then I covered the back with this Laurie and Whittle's new map of London to cover what was there because it didn't quite go with the theme. So that is the book itself. And then these are book covers, old, what do you want to call it? Book covers, literally the hardback book cover from a book that was taken apart and then covered in this paper. And I actually used a little Amazon packaging as well to the paper envelope style, the padded paper envelope style, to give it a little bit of a cushion and texture, and then covered it with this paper. Then, in addition, coming back to the center here, where we talk about the traveler's notebook style, I did create for her 5 of these inserts, Traveler's Notebook style inserts, to use for her book, and so for this journal, and with the idea that she's retiring. She did retire now, as of a couple weeks ago. She can use this book for many different trips. She's going to be traveling a lot, I'm sure. So jealous. But I wanted it to be something that can go with her and move through different trips that she goes on, and she can, you know, take things out from pockets and use a new book to write in, or if she just wants to take the insert out and excuse me, while she visits places, she can do so. So each one of these inserts was made by me, and every single page was touched by me as well. So this is scrapbook paper, and I lined it with some ledger paper, and then I coffee dyed ledger paper, ironed Amazon packaging, and stenciled it, more coffee dyed ledger paper. This is actually paper that I inked with the kind that children learn to write on. Some more coffee dyed paper. I won't go through every single page, but you get the idea that every single page in all 5 of these books was either coffee dyed, inked, ironed, and stenciled, whatever it may be, by me. So the amount of love and work that went into this is, I hope she really enjoys. This is a actual vintage envelope, not a new one, airmail envelope. So it gives you an idea. There's a lot of pages in here, and again, I did make 5 of these, so I won't go through all of them, but you get the idea. Again, every single page was touched by me in some way, made for her specifically. So I really hope that she enjoys this and takes it with her on all of her adventures and whatnot. Now, if I know she's going to be traveling a lot, so if she continues to travel a lot, I wanted this to, and I know she's a writer, so she might run out of space. I also made sure that this could be something she could refill with store-bought journal entry inserts as well. So I did find some of these at Michael's that fit in here perfectly, so she can just tuck that in there as well, or she can tuck in multiples. I accidentally grabbed 2 strings, so she can have a little store-bought one, she can have one that I made her, and she can cycle these in and out as much as she'd like, and there you go. So that is my first journal that is a gift. It is my second junk journal style that I have made, and I really enjoyed the process. It was really fun to make it so personal for her, and I really hope that she likes it. I guess now this is my first YouTube video. I have to do that whole like and subscribe thing. So if you enjoyed this video, first off, I want to say thank you to Eva from Bohemian Crafting for the inspiration of using the atlas pages, because I had an atlas for the vintage atlas and I thought it was a brilliant way to make a little travel journal, and I really enjoy all of her videos. She's brilliant. And I hope that she likes this. I can't believe I'm actually done with it. I think between this and the spot and the inserts and the box that I made her to store it in, I probably have spent about a month and a half on this project. And it'll be really fun to give it to her tomorrow morning at brunch. Thank you. Bye.